let's bring it together. You are a good Father, Lord, Father, and I want us all to be able to come together and feel welcomed in this space, in your space, because we are here in your space. And is that the strumming in the background, the string on the guitar? And I want us all to know that your grace is enough. And then we all come in and sing grace. Your grace is enough. Thank you. I worked really hard on that. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by Markiplier's flexing. I have to scroll up
to another episode of the Marinaut podcast.
Yeah, welcome to episode 7.
Oh,
who thought we'd make it this far?
Not me.
We're already on 7?
Yeah, we're at 7 episodes. We've been doing this for 7 weeks now, probably more. Actually, the day that we're recording this is the 2-month anniversary of our channel, I think, of our first upload of the Trollland video. Just kind of
let's get some clapping for that.
Yeah, can we get some claps in the chat? Can we get some Balrogs in the chat? Put some Balrogs from the first Lord of the Rings movie as he's pulling Gandalf down into hell. Can you put that in the chat for me? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Shout out to our what do we have? 18 subs now, I think. 18 that aren't us.
Welcome back. If you're one of the
welcome back.
And you're watching this.
And welcome to the new viewers.
Yeah, if you're not one of the 18, welcome.
Yeah, get out of here. Oh, we got a new message. What is this? Why would you? Ew. I should send a gif of the mouse from Tom and Jerry, like the baby mouse, like pointing to his mouth.
If you go to like the Discord gifs, if you go under hungry, that's the first one that comes up, and I just thought it was funny. I don't know why.
I mean, it's pretty funny. I just wasn't expecting it. Why did you look up hungry?
No, I'm just going through the Discord gifs. I'm bored while waiting for the topic to start.
Oh yeah, we got to. So are the listeners, I think.
Yeah.
What do we want to? Teddy said you had some topics you wanted to talk about. What were you thinking?
I have a topic. It's GTA, bro. The series Grand Theft Auto.
Was there an announcement?
No.
Oh.
But I've been playing GTA 4, which I've never played until now, and it made me remember when you like got GTA 4 on your old laptop or something like that.
Oh God, yes,
you had to download mods to take out the blood and stuff.
Otherwise, yeah,
wouldn't let you play it. And
that's
just a funny little fact. But anyways, dude, I've been playing through GTA. Good series of games, to be honest. Like GTA 4, which is pretty old, and like, you know, whatever. It's like from 2008. Really impressive. Like, genuinely. Like, I don't know how they make these fucking games, dude. And then GTA 5 is nuts. I don't know. You played GTA 5, right, Anthony?
I got about halfway through.
Okay, fair enough. Did you beat it, Patrick?
I think so. I don't remember the end date, or I don't know. I remember playing it, but I don't remember if I beat it or not.
It's insane to me that like it can make games that are like that detailed, because I've been walking around the big New York map in GTA 4 because I've never played it before, and it's fucking huge, dude. It's so big. Like there's like a million different little alleyways you can go in. It's just nuts how much detail they put into it from a game from like 2008. I just don't think there's any other game like it. And then GTA 5 is just that, but like times 20. But yeah, I don't know. Just what are your guys' thoughts on GTA? Because I've been replaying them and I am impressed, because I guess forgot them a little bit, because like I have like the bad taste of like Grand Theft Auto Online in my mouth, and like Red Dead Redemption 2's multiplayer, you know? I have a bad taste from like Rockstar and their games because of their horrific gaming practices. But what do you guys think about the GTA
I-
series.
I think that the GTA 5 is like that game should have been released like 4 to 5 years later than it was, just based on like how it looks and stuff.
Oh
Like,
no,
it's
yeah,
way ahead of it's freaky how ahead of its time it is, you know?
Mhm.
yeah.
Counting like 2013, like that's just insane to me. I don't know how they did it.
It's crazy that they keep releasing this fucking game over and over again.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2013, and they're still releasing new ones. Did you know? Like, I think the newest iteration of GTA 5 is they're selling the Grand Theft Auto or the GTA Online separately from the story. Like, that's the newest way they're doing it.
I've heard rumor about that. Yeah, I don't know what that's gonna look like. Because the online has never been the part that appeals to me. I'm not a big online player. I've
Really?
always preferred. I've always preferred like the campaign, like the single player stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You obviously never played Saints Row 3 then.
Oh
I
yeah.
did not play Saints Row 3.
all
You remember that, Teddy?
Yeah, dude.
The online in that? It was so fun.
It's so good. That game, man, it's funny that like Saints Row was like the only competition GTA had, and it wasn't even really close, you know? Like Saints Row was only enjoyable because of how kind of like goofy it was. Like the multiplayer is just nuts. But like it wasn't really ever I never really saw it as like a true competition to GTA, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
But
Well, GTA is one of those games that doesn't have a lot of. It doesn't have competition. Like Call of Duty has competition with like Battlefield and stuff. But GTA really is its own release, its own title.
yeah, it really is. Except I think, bro, I don't know how closely you guys have been following Cyberpunk 2077. I think that game is like stepping up to the plate to try and be like the GTA killer a little bit because every little like detail that they release about the game, it kind of expands its scope of like what they're trying to do, you know? And it's like it's the same setting as GTA 5 pretty much. It's like Los Angeles and it's like the desert surrounding Los Angeles. It's like the exact same setting. So it's almost I'm kind of seeing it as like a little bit of
Dang,
a
is that
competition with GTA.
it comes out in like a month or a couple months?
I think 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's already like.
It was supposed to come out. It wasn't supposed to come out like last April.
Yeah.
And they delayed it, but I just want to see what it's like because
I mean, the
game
hype
seemed,
is insane.
yeah, I know the game looks pretty cool.
I don't have any interest in it.
None?
I know because it's from the guys who made The Witcher.
Oh,
And
yeah, you didn't really like The Witcher.
Who CD
The Witcher,
Project Red or whatever?
yeah, CD Projekt Red. I would classify The Witcher as one of my most disappointing games because
Damn.
it everything about that game was so interesting to me. It was so fascinating. The world, the lore, everything. And I feel like it completely dropped the ball. The story, the gameplay, all of it was like I couldn't get into it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. There's just something about the Witcher 3 was the one I played for like 4 or 5 hours,
Mhm.
and I just kind of got bored. I don't really know how, but
I feel like that's what happens to everybody that plays it. Like, they give it like a couple, like 4 or 5 hours, and it's just not gripping. I'll be honest.
It's not.
It's really
No.
not at all. It makes you want to stop playing. But having played that game and like played the shit out of it because I kind of got past that horrible kind of beginning. I don't know. I don't know. Not to piss off if we have any Witcher fans watching. I don't know what like. I don't know if you're supposed to enjoy it more at the beginning if you've played through like the other games or something like. But it really just doesn't do a good job of explaining what you're supposed to do.
No, it
And
doesn't.
it's
It's very confusing.
and like the
I just-
combat and it's just none of it really makes sense. It's like yeah. No, I totally get it. I totally get why you guys didn't dig it.
I can't put my finger on it. Maybe I have to give it another try, but I don't know. Maybe it's also that I don't like games where you play as a set character. Maybe that was also part of the reason
Yeah.
why.
That's a plus for Cyberpunk. You get to make your own like
Yeah.
Well,
apparently you get to change your penis.
that's
Yourself
really.
like a robot penis. Yeah, like apparently. that's a big deal with it, is that you get to customize your junk.
I was wrong. I'm now into the game. I will be purchasing.
Dude, I wonder how big that game's going to be. Not in terms of like content, just how many gigabytes that thing is going to be.
Well, isn't
That's true.
Warzone like massive? Like the Warzone updates are like 88
Yes.
gigabytes.
Dude, I had to uninstall Modern Warfare from my computer because it took up way too much space. It's like 250 gigabytes total.
There's no way it needs that much space.
I don't know what is up with that game, but like, my computer was probably so happy after I uninstalled that. Just like
Just to get rid of it.
Yeah, because it's so much. It is so much. I think you should be able to like install the different components on their own. Like, because I didn't really like Warzone, but I like the multiplayer in it.
Oh, but you have to download them
But you
all.
have to install the game as a whole, so you have to have all. Like, I wish you could just download the multiplayer or just download Warzone, right?
Well, I guess that's the mindset behind selling GTA and GTA Online separate now. Is like there's some people who don't really care about the online, so why make that a package deal? Because they're probably both going to be huge in terms of like.
Is that game still $60?
Oh yeah,
I think it's 40 now, right? That'd be my guess.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'll look it up on Steam right now. Grand.
It's
It's only 30. It's $30.
30?
Maybe.
Wow.
Let me
Pretty good
check if
deal.
there's a sale though. Nope. It's just normally $30 now.
Damn.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Never played GTA 5. Now.
I got GTA 5 on a like sale price. It was like $15, and I got it my freshman year of college, so maybe 2 years ago. So way after release. I didn't like it that much. I don't know. Those games are one of those games that conceptually appeal to me, and then I play them, and I'm just not into it. And I know it sounds like I don't like video games by like how I've talked about them. But I also, in that time period, also bought Red Dead Redemption 2 and stormed through that game. I spent like hours daily playing it. And I loved it. I mean, it's not a perfect game, but in terms of like the enjoyment I got out of it, I really did enjoy it. GTA just doesn't give that to me.
Interesting. I think it depends for me. I think I just kind of like the kind of way the games are set up, as in like they just kind of throw you into a big open world, and it's just kind of like, all right, now do whatever. I love that, man. I love that with pretty much any game. And like I feel like GTA gives you enough of a direction to kind of keep you going through the story a little bit, whereas Red Dead 2 threw you into that huge ass map and was like, do whatever you want. And I feel like you had to choose either between doing the story or like everything else that the game offered. I never felt like I could do both at the same time, like I could with GTA, if that makes sense.
You couldn't like explore and do the story at the same time.
Yeah, because the map was so big, like, and every mission was like in the set area, you know? So I felt like in Red Dead, if I wanted to explore, I'd like have to kind of abandon the story for a couple hours, which I was okay with. But
no, Teddy's totally right, because the way the story progresses in Red Dead Redemption 2 is you have this little outlaw camp. You guys are on the run, so your outlaw group has like a camp, and you can go out and explore, but if you want to do the story, you go back to the camp. And so say I rode all the way out to the mountains and thought, this is cool. I love this area, but I want to get back to the story. So I ride back to camp and I go up to one of the members and I talk to them and we start a mission. And then I ride out with them and we talk the whole time back and forth. And you ride out back to the mountains where I was. And it's like,
yeah,
why couldn't I have ridden out here and found a camp member and started the mission? Why did I have to go back? And the exploration and the story are very separate, and I don't enjoy that.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. I never really thought about it like that until I started just literally saying it.
Yeah. Like Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games, and it's very much an open world game. And that game's concept is like, go beat the boss, is like the first thing it tells you. And to do that, you have to explore the world to like get the materials, gain the whatever to go beat the boss. It's very open. And so the main goal of that game is only accomplished by exploring, which is, I love that. I love that so much. And I wish Red Dead Redemption 2 had taken an approach like that.
Yeah. See, I've never played that game.
It's one of my favorite games. It's one of the games that I can play constantly. Like GTA 5, I get sick of halfway through playing it, halfway through turning it on. The Witcher I couldn't get into, but Breath of the Wild is one of those games that I can just, keep grinding at forever.
Interesting. I need to play it.
It's similar to Skyrim in that
Nothing
sense.
but things about it. Oh yeah, Skyrim's pretty good.
I'm interested in what Elden Ring is going to be like.
Yeah, what do we know about that so far?
Nothing.
I
Pretty much, literally nothing. That's about it.
We have like a cinematic.
Well, we know, we have the cinematic, and we have like I don't know if it's IGN or Xbox interview or something with the guy who created it, right?
guess.
And so we know that it's like open. Well, we know it's like going to be more open world.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And it's going to be like, they said it was like the evolution of Dark Souls, so it's going to be similar to Dark Souls than Sekiro, probably.
Isn't like George R.R. Martin involved with that?
Oh
somehow?
yeah, he wrote like the lore, the mythos of the story.
Oh, that's
or not
cool.
the story. Yeah, like the world building, I think.
Oh, okay.
I find that interesting.
And people keep saying like that's why the game is taking super long because George R.R. Martin.
Because he's writing the universe.
No, that's not true because he finished his work like 2 years ago. Like
that's funny though.
His part's already done, but like that's the whole meme is that because he always like takes forever to take his stuff of recent. I think it's his birthday today, actually. Now that I think about it.
Is it really?
Oh,
yeah.
Happy birthday, George.
Yeah,
I think I saw that earlier today when I was looking at something.
I'm excited to see that game. The fact that it's Dark Souls inspired kind of worries me, just because like I could never get into the Dark Souls games either.
Yeah, that's fair.
Big mistake.
I'm very much a casual. I'm very much a casual gamer. That hurt to say. I hate saying gamer.
You are though. You're like a casual gamer.
Oh, I'm the epitome of a casual gamer. My favorite games are like farming games. Like I just love a game that I can sit down and play, and it's like this is relaxing. And Dark Souls is not at all that.
So you don't like action games?
Some of them. It depends. I like open world too, but I like open worlds because you can explore them, and then I love a good story. There's a lot of games that I play with the story just is lacking, and it loses me. Like I had that with The Witcher.
Dark Souls story is like not even mentioned. You have to figure it out for yourself.
That's the weirdest thing about Dark Souls is it's just like, yeah, go kill bosses. And it's like, okay, I like that because
like nobody tells you nobody really tells you like what's really happening. You kind of have to like figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, you're like becoming the new Ashen One or something. Not Ashen One, the new Lord of Embers?
Depends on the game, yeah.
It's just weird. I don't get it. Whatever.
A lot of it's a lot on your own end is what you have to do. You have to like look up stuff on your they have a lot of like expedition dumping, I guess, and like the description of items.
See, I hate that.
So if you don't read items, like you might even like not even know like what this thing is that you just picked up.
No one plays Skyrim and finds a book and just opens it up to learn the lore about like Windhelm. That doesn't I hate that stuff.
Has anybody ever read a book in Skyrim, like past the first page?
No.
Maybe?
I just read it, get the XP, and then close it immediately.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You pick up every book hoping one of them gets you like a skill, and then you just don't read any of them.
Mm-hmm. There are the hardcore fans, though, I think, that do.
Oh, yeah.
They like read all of the books. I can't imagine how. I mean, I really like how the developers did that. I think it's cool.
Oh, it's like optional lore?
Yeah, but like, I just wouldn't do it.
Who would do it? Not me.
A kid we went to middle school with read all the lore in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Speaking of that game, I could never get into Fallout New Vegas.
I think I like that game. I think it's pretty good.
I kind of liked Fallout. It's a cool universe.
I never played Fallout 4. Is it the one that came out in like 2016, right?
Yeah, that one.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Why didn't you like it?
The last one I played with.
I don't know. I've never really liked Fallout. I don't know why. I just I can't really get into it. Like I just don't. I don't really vibe with it. That's what I'll
I mean,
go
that's
with.
totally fair.
Yeah, I don't really like the setting, to be honest. It's kind of
Yeah,
boring. It's just like a wasteland.
a little bit boring to me.
I think it's interesting. It's just not really especially Fallout New Vegas is not nice to look at.
Oh yeah.
It's
That
like
is rough.
borderline Oblivion graphics, you know?
It looks like mud. It looks like I'm looking at Adam and Eve before they had life endowed upon them.
Oh my god, that's funny. Did you guys play The Outer Worlds? It was made by the same people who made Fallout New Vegas.
I did not.
No, I didn't. Is it good?
I played that. I thought it's like 2 hours long. It's like the shortest game ever.
Two
But
hours? What?
no, it's not really. It's maybe like 10 or something, but it's very beatable, like super quick. But it's
Is
I
the
thought it
world
was,
big or no?
it's like no. I'm gonna say it's like 5 different areas because it's in like a solar system and each area is like a planet or like an asteroid, but it's not like a huge explorable planet. It's just like an area, like an overworld almost that you can kind of
Yeah.
explore. And it's
Oh,
good only because like the narrative is kind of fun and like the writing's pretty good and like you get to choose your dialogue options and there's like a lot of branching shit. But other than that, it's just fine, you know?
so it has the Destiny system of like explore all these planets, but they're just like small maps for each
Yes,
planet.
yes,
Yeah. I mean, you can't
that.
really blame them though. Who's gonna create an actual planet in a game?
Well, you just make it a small planet.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky was
Oh
probably my biggest
gosh. Yeah,
disappointment
but No
that I
Man's
ever
Sky
paid
has like
for.
no. It's just like the environment. There's no cities and stuff, right?
It sucks, dude. Like, listen, I've heard that No Man's Sky has been like it's getting a lot of updates. It's like getting a lot better. Like
That's what I
they're
heard
adding.
too. Yeah.
I've heard that as well.
I got it and I played it, dude. That game's it's just fun at all. It's like the opposite of fun. It like purposefully tries to make it not fun to play. It's like you have to go around grinding and like finding these resources like oxygen and hydrogen and nitrogen constantly, otherwise you'll die. And it's like to gather all the materials to even leave the planet, you have to just find these certain elements that spawn on every single planet, no matter what kind of planet it is. Like no matter how crazy and fucked up the planet is, it'll just have this specific plant that you have to pick up to build rocket ship fuel to leave. It's just so uncreative. It's just like they make the whole game like a fetch quest, and it's a game about exploring a literal unending universe, and that's what they came up with for the gameplay loop. It's like how did you do that? How did you even do that?
I can see why that's unappealing.
Yeah, I don't really know
Yeah,
how you would even make a game like that. Now that I think
it's so
about it,
boring.
like if you
Starbound.
create Starbound.
That's No Man's Sky, but 2D, and I love it. That's a very fun game.
But I think it
I think
when
that's.
it's 2D, it could maybe work better because it's like more I don't know, like
I just think
focused.
it'd be difficult to like even take Minecraft, which is like randomly generated, right? That goes forever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At some point, like you just stop exploring, right? You just start building stuff because you know,
Yeah,
like. So I don't know. I don't think the idea that like, hey, this is endless is really like a actual
it was
like.
back then.
Yeah, I guess back then, but like now, I don't.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
would
it's
not want an endless game.
and it really shows the limitations because in No Man's Sky, like yeah, it's infinite planets. Every single one looks the same, and there's no variety. And the takeaway, the drawback from that is that the game turns into a fetch quest where you have to gather 5 things that are on every single planet, no matter what. Like that's the trade-off. Like not worth it. Just
Mm.
make a good game. Just make a
See,
good game.
I would rather have Destiny's like system of you have a small like galaxy or whatever. You
Yeah.
have a small solar system of like maybe 5 planets, and each of them are fleshed out areas that you can explore, maybe bigger than the maps Destiny provided, but intentionally created small explorable areas over I would take that over No Man's Sky's like endless, monotonous planets of where nothing changes.
Exactly. And the worst part is that it wasn't advertised like that. Do you remember, dude, like the trailers where every planet was different? There's like a giant sand planet with a sandworm, and there's like a tropical forest planet with dinosaurs. Like, it's all a fucking lie. Every single planet's the same. They all look the same.
That's my beef with, like, what do you call them? The gaming industry?
Yeah.
That's my problem with the gaming industry, I guess, is like they're never honest with the customers, with us. I'm so sick of being lied to about games and what content they're gonna have and what is or isn't gonna be DLC and what is or isn't gonna be pay to play. Like, there's not gonna be a paywall.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think we already talked about it, but the Avengers game,
Oh yeah, but now it's out.
dude, fucking sucks. Like, everybody hates it and it's not making any money. Of course, because why would anybody want to play that? That shit looks bad.
It's like, how can you ruin that concept? The idea of playing as any of the Avengers should be like insanely fun. But
Yeah.
again, it's the Destiny system of like, oh, let me go into this, let me redo this map, let me redo this fight on the moon base.
They have loot, like in an Avengers game, like it's a loot grinding game. Why would you do that to the Avengers? That's just so uninteresting.
It does not make sense to me. I don't know,
They
but
could have literally just made like New York City. Just make Spider-Man again, like for PS4. Just do that again, but make it the Avengers, and you've got a bestseller.
I would think so. I don't know anything about. I'm sure the gaming industry is like so much more complicated than what I'm making it out to be. I would flounder as a game developer, but I can sit here in my room and be like, this game sucks, and I could have done better.
No offense, but I could have done better.
Like, I can say that about Red Dead as much as I want, but chances are I could not make a better Red Dead.
Yeah, and you know, the Red Dead they did make, it's pretty cool. Like, they really went for it. I'll give it that.
As much as I complain about it,
Yeah, and it's good, kind of. But what I do like about Rockstar as a company generally is when they show gameplay for their games, it is what you'll get.
oh, it's
You know?
gameplay. Yeah.
Like actual gameplay, it just kind of shows what it is, and that's kind of what CD Projekt Red is doing with their games a little bit too, which is why I'm excited for Cyberpunk, because the gameplay does look pretty cool, and as long as it's not all altered somehow, it looks pretty good.
Cyberpunk is it gonna have multiplayer?
Apparently, it will, but like a completely separate one from the single player, which worries me a little. Like, I don't know why they would like put in the resources for a multiplayer of that game. Seems like a very single player RPG heavy game. So it's like, what could they do with a multiplayer that would make it more interesting than the single player, or like make it different enough, I guess, that people would want to play that.
Well, like,
They can do it with like what GTA did.
Yeah.
where they keep like updating it and having different cars added.
I don't know. Guess.
Dude.
What is okay, but what's the appeal? What's the appeal of what's that game called?
Cyberpunk?
What's the appeal of Cyberpunk? Like, why should someone be interested in that franchise?
The world looks awesome.
I'm interested in it because it looks like a kind of a big RPG game that is kind of like, let me figure out how I can explain this. I feel like I haven't had my like RPG fix in a long time, since like Skyrim even.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim was the number one game for me for a while, and I've always tried to find a game that kind of fits that, where I can just kind of, or fills that void for me, where I can kind of create my own character and like take them through this crazy path or whatever. And I don't know, Cyberpunk just, it's got me tingling, bro, because it seems to offer a lot. It's like you can be basically whatever you want in this futuristic city or whatever, with like everybody like replaces their limbs and shit with mechanical parts, and there's like a big corporate overworld, and there's like crime in the underworld, and you can like be a part of both or whatever. I don't know. It just looks interesting. Maybe you should watch some gameplay of it, Anthony, and see what you think, because it's like it looks promising, but obviously being a gamer, you have to kind of take everything that looks good with a grain of salt, you know? I'm always prepared to be disappointed.
That's fair, yeah.
I just think the world looks cool.
It does look cool.
I like
It's like
the environment because I've never seen a game that is like that.
Yeah, it's like crazy futuristic, and like apparently you can walk. It's like this huge open map, and you can get everywhere. You can get like from one point to another, like just on foot, without having to use anything. And like there's no loading screens for going inside buildings and then coming back out into like the big city, which is pretty interesting.
How's that possible?
I don't know, Anthony. That's the draw for me. Like, can they actually live up to that? Can they live up to what they're fucking promising?
I think that's what makes the game interesting. Is like, is this actually gonna be what they say it's gonna be?
Exactly. It's exactly that.
I wonder. See those day one reviews.
And like, it's almost a little bit more convincing for me, because when they first released gameplay of this game, like it didn't look perfect. Like there were some very obvious glitches that happened in the gameplay. And I was like, oh, okay. But it's like, if that's the real gameplay, and there's some like glitches that they're willing to like let stay, like they'll let the glitches stay in the gameplay. And obviously I think they're pretty happy with the gameplay that they've got going on. Kind of like what you see is what you get. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they're pulling a Rockstar with us, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not interested in it. I think I'm just not a gamer anymore, as much as I was in middle school.
It's fair.
Gamer.
In middle school, I had so much free time. So it's like, oh, I've got history homework. Let me read about George Washington. Cool, done. Who's on Xbox? Like, that's all I did in my free time was play video games. And now I don't have that free time. And so it's like, if I'm gonna sit down and play a game, it's gotta be a good one. I have to be so selective with what I play. And if it doesn't pique my interest right away, I'm not gonna invest in it.
You know, like a Cyberpunk or a Witcher.
Well, that's the sad part. The Witcher did catch my attention. I thought it was interesting. And then I played it, and it's like, you've got the wrong mutagens to be fighting the crow boss. You better brew some new potions. And it's like, no, just let me fight the boss. I hate this.
I get you. And
I had to look up what build I wanted for my Geralt, my Geralt. I had to, oh my God.
Geralt.
I had to
I had to put in so many hours into that game until I started to like it. And the only reason I feel like I was able to do that was because I was in college and I had a roommate who really liked The Witcher. So he kind of forced me to play it. And he gave me some advice and some tips as I played it. So I wasn't probably as lost as you were. And I was kind of like, I could get it a little bit more done. And I felt like once I passed like the fucking 15-hour mark of playing that game, then I started to enjoy it. And I started to kind of understand like why people liked it. But I don't know. It's hard. It's a really hard game to get into.
It didn't appeal to me, and I wanted it to, which made it hard for me to get into. I feel like a lot of games don't appeal to me anymore because I don't like shooters very much. And I'm much more like interested in story-based games, and those just don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Or they probably do. I just don't pay attention to them. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. That's a game that I've very much found myself engrossed in.
I've never played Animal Crossing.
You live on an island and you've got little animals that move in. And like the whole point of the game is make a nice village so the animals don't want to leave. And I love that. It's so fun.
Nice and simple.
What's the most mundane gameplay? It's like go talk to the villagers to keep them happy and then go fishing and then find some fossils and then decorate your house. And it's just, I don't know. It's a very cozy game. I like that a lot.
The reward in the gameplay is like getting to decorate shit, right?
That is like the push to keep playing is like, yeah, but I need the antique wardrobe for my bedroom. Maybe it's in the shop today. Let me check.
Did you guys play Mario Odyssey? Super Mario Odyssey?
I did play Odyssey, yeah.
Nope.
Did you finish it?
I completed Odyssey. I didn't get all the stars, but I completed the story.
I gotta be honest. I got a Nintendo Switch, bro, and I played Odyssey.
Yeah.
I got so bored of it after like
Really?
40 minutes of playing. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but like I don't know what wasn't like connecting with me, but I just was like I don't know, because I thought I'd really like it. Because when I was a kid, I really liked Super Mario Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
But I just did not like Odyssey. I don't know what it was.
Odyssey was very fun for me, and I loved it because like I played a lot of Mario games when I was a kid, and one of the games I really liked was Super Mario Galaxy. And one of the reasons I loved it so much is because it's throwing you from galaxy to galaxy with new and interesting concepts. You got like the hot, cold galaxy or whatever, where half of it is lava based and the other half is like icicle based. And then I think they come together and you got the bee galaxy where you're the bee and you're crawling all over the bee girl. And that one guy on Twitter was really horny for the queen bee for some reason recently. And like, I don't know, it's just a very extensive like variety. And Odyssey had that same thing of like, okay, you're going to the new area, and this is an island, a poison island, and your hat gets taken from you, and now you're in a jungle, and now you're in dinosaur lands. It's just I enjoyed that it kept throwing me from like new wacky concept to new wacky concept, and each area had a new gameplay mechanic where you're a frog and you can jump higher, or you're an onion and you can stretch up your onion legs. I liked that.
Interesting. I don't even think I really got to that far because I didn't even get past like the desert.
The
place.
desert one's fun. I like that area.
But like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't think I'm a big like I don't know what genre Mario is.
3D platformer?
The platformer, like a 3D platformer. I guess I'm not a big 3D platformer.
I think Mario. I think I'm a Nintendo shill in a lot of ways. Because like games like Doom, I know you love Doom, Teddy.
I like Doom.
And Dark Souls and Sekiro, which I know Patrick likes, and I know you like Sekiro, Teddy. Those never really appealed to me in the same way that like a goofy, colorful Nintendo game will appeal to me. Just like the style and the feelings that Nintendo brings. I think a lot of it is nostalgia because I grew up with a lot of Nintendo IPs. But just how fun they are, how fun they look, and how the games play in a very casual way that are engaging is just I eat that up. I love it so much.
They're pros. I mean, they're pros at game design. Like Nintendo knows how to make you feel like a gamer.
Nintendo knows how to make you feel like a gamer. They do though. They know I don't know. They know how to make a game that feels good to play.
Yeah, they find good gameplay loops and stuff. And like Ubisoft is like releasing a game that's like almost a direct ripoff of Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
like,
is it
What's it called?
Is it Windbound? What?
It's like it's called like Phoenix Rising or some shit, Patrick. I forget the name.
Never even heard of that.
Phoenix Rising. That's a soccer team.
Phoenix Immortals Phoenix Rising. That's what it's called.
Honestly,
that's how you spell Phoenix. Okay.
Oh, that's like Phoenix. What is that?
Yeah, that's a fucking weird way to spell it.
Oh God, these like the dislikes.
What is
people
this?
not like it?
Well, no, there's more likes than dislikes, but like there's a good majority of.
Man, that's a big. Oh,
this looks just like Breath of the Wild.
It does. This is like Scuff's Breath of the Wild.
This is weird.
I mean, actually, it looks kind of good. It's just, where's the gameplay though? I guess it's a world premiere.
They did release some gameplay. I think you can find it somewhere, but
it's only 10 days ago.
I was watching someone talk about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, this is basically like a direct ripoff of Breath of the Wild." And even the developers of the game are like, "Yeah, it's pretty heavily inspired from Breath of the Wild." So
why is the music so scuffed?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's such weird music in that trailer, but I think Nintendo may have found like another formula for games with Breath of the Wild, the way like the Explore system works. I can see a lot of games maybe copying that, and I feel like this one might be the first one to try it.
That's what I don't get is if you're gonna copy a game's style, or if you want to piggyback off the success of another game, why would you go for the visual look as well? Like Breath of the Wild had an amazing open world exploration system, and I can see why other games would want to try and emulate that. But you can't do that and take the visual style too. You can't take the graphical style because then it's too obvious. Then I look at your game and think this is Breath of the Wild because it looks like it. I don't care if it plays like it. I'll see that it looks like it.
And it looks like the graphics are literally almost the same. It's like a little bit more Fortnite-y.
Ooh, the Fortnite look.
Like, so it's even worse.
Why is this like Greek gods and stuff?
I think so.
It's got oh god, this does look like Fortnite. Oh gosh.
It's got a little bit of a Fortnite style.
2 minutes in, it starts to look like Fortnite a lot.
I don't get that, but I can see why they'd want to use because I think Breath of the Wild was very revolutionary for not the open world genre as in general, because that's giving a lot of credit to the game. But I think the way that it reimagined plots in open world games was nice because Skyrim, for example, is a very popular open world game, but the story is so easy to get lost from. It's so easy to get off track. And the way you play the game is in a very disorganized way of like, I'm just going to, whatever pulls my attention towards it, I'll go to. So it's easy to forget what you were doing in terms of the story. Breath of the Wild isn't like that because it's the same goal the entire game. It's like one long quest. And I can see why other games would, want to approach it like that. But it can't work for all games.
No way. We'll see if this game like fucking slaps, if it's a banger, bro. I can see more and more games doing that.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. It's truly. Maybe this game is fucking amazing and Cyberpunk sucks.
Oh, this gameplay.
I have a sinking feeling that Cyberpunk will be a disappointment to fans. Partially because a lot of recent releases have been disappointing to fans, like Red Dead 2, Last of Us 2, pretty much any sequel. I don't know how Doom 2 was received.
Doom 2.
I thought that didn't Doom 2 do well?
Yeah, people like Doom 2.
But I feel like Cyberpunk has promised so much to its fans, and their fans are so intense about the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're ready to tear it apart if it doesn't live up to it.
I feel like that's just how the gaming community is, though. It's like, game's shit.
Dude, I know we've already talked about Halo 5, but...
Ooh, that's gonna be bad.
I'll bridge this. I'll bridge this topic into Xbox versus PlayStation, all right? Like the new Xbox versus the new PlayStation console. If you guys have been paying attention to it, which one do you think looks more appealing?
Visually?
If you were to buy one over the other, like let's say you're a consumer and you're like, I have $600 to spend on either PlayStation or Xbox, which one should I get?
Do they cost $600?
I think the new PlayStation is like $600 and the Xbox is like $500 or $400. So they're not too expensive, which is nice.
That's a lot of money.
Isn't the new Xbox? It's a lot cheaper, right?
It's a lot, but I was expecting like $800 or like $900. So I'm pretty happy with it. But
900?
I was expecting that, bro. I honestly was expecting it with the way they were touting it, like as the most powerful console.
Yeah. But the PS5 is like what, 500 or 600, right?
I think so.
Or maybe 400, 500. And then like the new Xbox is only like 250, right, or something?
Is it? Holy shit!
I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm getting confused. Xbox Series X.
God, stupid names.
That is That's like the Wii
U. Well, dude, they went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, and then they introduced the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. And now their newest Xbox is the Xbox Series.
I see.
That's what so is the
dumb. I don't understand this. Like the digital only series? Does that mean like it doesn't have like you can't put discs into it or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
So $200 for a because the normal one, right? The one with the disc thing or whatever, right? It's 500, and then it's 300 for the other one.
Huh.
It's a 200. So I would just get the digital version, right? Like I don't buy my games in physical form anymore.
Yeah.
I think my immediate knee-jerk reaction is I will never buy a Microsoft console again.
Why is that?
I've never been so disappointed with a purchase in the long run. I got an Xbox because all my friends had an Xbox, and I had to spend 7 years watching the other side get games that were right up my alley. I've never got the chance to play Uncharted 4. I've never got the chance to play God of War. I never got the chance to play Spider-Man, The Last Guardian. All those games were fantastic and games that I would have kept me pursuing games. Like I never play games anymore. Those would have been games that would have kept me interested in the gaming scene, as the kids say. And I couldn't get them. And I didn't want to pay the money for a PlayStation 4.
That's a big thing for me. I'm like, I don't want to get burned by buying an Xbox this generation again and having literally the only thing be Halo.
Yeah, PS5's looking a lot better. I'm not gonna lie.
And
it's looking a lot better. They've got there's a new God of War that they just teased, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
They've got
Spider-Man.
Yeah, they've got Spider-Man. They've got the Demon Souls remake. They've got they just got so much stuff, and then like Xbox has Halo,
which hasn't been good for years.
I know, and I don't even like. I'm gonna be honest. I only played Halo for the multiplayer, just to mess around.
Yeah.
In like the what's the zombies mode called? The Flood or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Those are the only ones I like. I didn't really like the story, but I understand, Teddy, you like the story, right? In some of them.
I think we've gone over it a little before, but man, I played through Halo with Kevin. Like I played through all the Halos with him. They fucking blow. I don't like it. the
Any of them?
Is really stupid. I like Halo 1 a lot. I like the original Halo a lot because I think it's got some interesting gameplay, and I think the story is simple enough that I like it. It's just kind of like, oh, aliens. Now we're on a ring. The ring is a weapon. We got to destroy it. Like that's fine. But then in Halo 2 and 3 and whatever, like the plot just becomes this universal like fucking war with Shakespearean dialogue and stuff, and like there's a million scenes per episode, and like I'm like, okay, man, I don't know
Shakespearean dialogue.
This. Oh, dude, I'm not even kidding about that.
What about ODST? You like that one, right?
Oh, I played through that one too. I thought that one was one of the worst, man.
Did you make your Xbox gamer tag that or something?
Yeah, I did.
Like I'm ODST or something?
I thought the lore was so cool when I was a kid. Like I loved the Halo lore and I love the ODST soldiers. But then I played the game like a couple months ago and that shit blows. Like
it's just
I don't think there's very many good Halos. I think Halo 1 is the best, and maybe like Halo 3 is a second best. And those are like the only two ones that are really good. And Halo Reach maybe after those, but I don't like any of the other ones.
But Halo is such like it's one of those games where it's like I would go over to a friend's house and their older brother would be playing in the basement on their Xbox, and like it's the game that I associate with teenagers from when I was a kid, like Halo, BioShock, Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2. Like that's the thing I would see older kids playing, and it was like, whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And like this new one, man, what the fuck? That's what they have to offer?
Yeah, the trailer didn't look that good, to be honest.
That doesn't sell me at all. Like I had to, like Anthony said, like we had to go through 7 years of watching the other side get these bangers after bangers. And I played Spider-Man. It was fucking good. I didn't get to play God of War. I wish I did.
I
But
think
it's
that
like
game's like universally like agreed upon, even if you haven't played it. Like
It's yeah.
it's a good game. Like
godlike game.
yeah.
I'm not convinced by Xbox, and I feel like they're gonna lose this console generation like again.
hmm The only thing I
Absolutely.
really like about Xbox is how they do the friend system. I just like their. Remember, like the old Xbox 360, just like the whole thing, the parties and stuff. I just love that so
Yeah,
much.
they've always had a good system with Xbox Live. Like, weren't they the
No, their
forerunners?
UI sucks.
What do you mean?
God, they're like tile system where you have to swipe through like 5 pages of tiles to get to your settings or whatever, and there's the tuk 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 noise for each one.
Yeah.
I just
That's
like
so-
that. I just liked how you were able to easily, like, I heard like the PS, what was it? PS3 was the one that had bad like friend system or something. You also like pay for it as well, just to, or you had to pay for Xbox Live, but or did you? I don't even remember. Did you have to?
Live on the 360. Yeah, that costs
you?
money.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But did you have to have it to do parties and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I'm forgetting something then.
I think PlayStation 3.
What was the one that you had to pay? I thought like the big thing about back in the day was like you had to pay for one thing for PlayStation. You didn't have to for Xbox.
Online play on PlayStation 3, I think, was like free.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And then we convinced them to change that. We, the Microsoft fans.
The Microsoft fans. Yeah, and I feel like one of their only selling points is like Xbox Game Pass, which is like another membership.
I think PlayStation has that now too. I think
Yeah.
Sony has their own.
So it's like, what are they really offering here? The most powerful console or whatever, but that's what Halo looks like.
Right, exactly. And Halo doesn't appeal to me, and Gears of War doesn't appeal to me. And if they had some IPs, maybe I'd stay. But they haven't advertised that they have any cool IPs. And I
They
know,
have
well, and you know,
they-
deep down inside, we're gonna get another God of War, and so we're probably gonna get an Uncharted 5, and we're probably gonna like, their good games will be released on the PlayStation no matter what. But the Xbox,
Exactly.
I can't make that same promise. I don't have that same faith.
No, exactly. And
So I hate to say it, but Mr. Thomas Microsoft, I'm leaving you.
damn,
I'm just not a
bro,
big
you
fan of
mean-
like version exclusives, to be honest.
Any of them? Or the concept of them?
I just don't really like the concept. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
understandable why they do it, because like they wanna like certain games they want to build around a specific hardware, right? So it's like optimized for it, so they do that. But
Mhm.
like, I don't know, dude. I just want to be able to play a game. That's it. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
I don't want to pay
Exactly.
$600 for a PS5 just to play a game that I like.
Oh, I won't be buying a PS5. I'll buy a PS4 this year. If anything.
There you go.
For what?
I want to play Uncharted. Indiana Jones is one of my favorite movies. I used to dress up like him all the time as a kid. And so the Uncharted games have always appealed to me, but I've never bought them because I never had a PlayStation.
I don't think I've ever played them.
I think they have the Uncharted, like, all of them were remastered for the PlayStation 4. So that'd be an investment I'd be willing to make. Those games seem so fun.
Yeah, there you go. I want to play God of War so bad,
Yeah.
and I want to play the new one that's coming out in like this year or next year.
Is it still?
I think they said 2021 at the end of it, so I think it's gonna probably be around the end of next year. Is my guess.
Sick.
Because they didn't show anything from it. They just showed like the name, I think, and stuff. I don't know. It was a couple days ago, so I don't really remember. But
Are we gonna be alive for the release of the new Elder Scrolls games? Is that gonna happen ever?
I don't think so, dude.
That game came out. Skyrim came out when we were 11 years old.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna live to see another one.
I don't know, dude. Even if it comes out, I don't even think it's gonna be that good, to be honest.
I probably won't even play it.
I don't think it's gonna be that good. Bethesda is kind of a troll company at this point.
Yeah, nobody has faith in them at all anymore. They've completely tarnished their reputation. Like
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 is the hill
Oh.
they chose to die on, bro. Like
Mobile games.
Ooh, the
Oh,
mobile games.
The Elder Scrolls mobile game, like
Blades, Elder
I don't know,
Scrolls
maybe
Blades.
that new what's that called? Starfield or something? Maybe that will be
Oh, I like
decent.
that. Starfield is what I thought Destiny was gonna be when I was like 13 and I didn't understand games yet.
Yeah, I thought Destiny was gonna be so cool, dude.
I thought Destiny was
You didn't like
multiplayer
Destiny 1?
RPG.
I
No!
did I did like Destiny 1,
I
but
love Destiny 1. I think that's a great game still.
I thought it was gonna be something different. Like I thought it was more like an
It was,
RPG in space or something like that. And
I don't
it's
really
just
know how,
not.
what would you call Destiny? It's kind of like a
It's Avengers.
multiplayer, like at least that's how I played it. I played it with friends a bunch.
I'd call it like a multiplayer
It's like a
looter.
multiplayer, like
It's a loot quest
is it
game.
kind of like a looter? Like, cause they had like
Yeah,
different rarities of items and stuff. They had like these cool boss raids, which I thought were awesome.
I think Destiny almost kind of like made that genre a little bit.
Yeah, a
Like
little bit. I think it took some stuff from like the traditional like MMORPGs, you know, like the different rarities of items and like raids and stuff. But
I did like Destiny
I
1,
liked it.
bro.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I never played the second one, but that I've heard that
I,
one was good too.
I heard that one was bad.
Really?
Yeah, I heard
I heard
Destiny
it was
2 was
bad
like
for a while, and now it's okay again.
I hate that. Why should I have to wait years after the release of a game for it to be considered good again?
That's the gaming industry right
It's
now,
yeah,
bro.
it's the the updates.
It's horrific. It's horrific.
There's some games that do it well. Like I know Animal Crossing does like monthly updates where they add new functions to the game, but it doesn't feel like they forgot to add it. It feels like, oh, winter's coming, so we're adding a coffee shop or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But Destiny 2 is like, ooh, halfway it's like this game came out 6 months ago. We're gonna remove loot boxes where you can pay to open them. It's like that you're not improving the game, you're taking out what we complained about. What this is stupid.
Do you remember Battlefront 2 and their whole loot box fiasco? And
Oh
then,
yeah.
like over the course of years, the game like apparently started to get okay again, and like the community started to like it. And then they just pulled the plug on the game. Like they're not gonna do any more content for it. Like they just killed it.
That's
Like that's
yeah.
EA, baby. That's EA. That's gaming. That's gaming for you.
I just am I spoiled? Was gaming better when we were kids? Has the gaming industry gotten worse, or was I too stupid to recognize it when I was a dumb little kid?
No, it's gotten worse because I think certain games have paved the way for what we have today in the gaming industry, like Fortnite and
Hmm.
like PUBG and like what's another like live service game that I can think of? Like Overwatch. Like they really paved the way for this type of gaming. It's not good. Let's throw it back to Cyberpunk, which is why I'm excited to see if Cyberpunk is like a really good game and it sells a ton of copies, you know, and it's just this full ass game that they're going to release. It's not like a live service where they're going to update it constantly. Like they just finish a game and then they release it. And if it's successful and it makes a lot of money, maybe it could change up the industry a little because I'm sick of this shit. It's really bad. And like it seems like Nintendo is the only company that doesn't really do that shit as much.
What
And
do you mean?
like Nintendo doesn't really seem to kind of go for the live service and the microtransactions and the loot
Oh,
boxes.
you'd probably like From Software then.
That's true. Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
they
I
don't even
love
they barely update their games after they release it.
they release it
Besides
and
like
they're
the
like
DLCs, they just do game, DLC, DLC, done. Bye bye. Next game.
exactly, exactly. And that's how it should be.
I
And
do
there's only
like
a
that.
couple studios doing that, From Software being one of them. Um,
Maybe it's just the Japanese. They just have
yeah.
a better they just know how to make games better. I don't know.
It used to be Rockstar, but Remember when they didn't release any DLC for GTA 5 and then just completely focused on the online? That sucked.
Yeah.
I wish Rockstar would expand a bit into different IPs because I know GTA and Red Dead Redemption are how they're going to make all their money, and in order to make those games, they have to put so much effort into them. But I've never played it. I heard Bully was fascinating. I'd love to see some more IPs from Rockstar because Red Dead Redemption is pretty much just a time period piece of the Red Dead Redemption style or of the Grand Theft Auto style.
Yeah.
Put that in other periods. I'd love to play their take on other historical time periods. I don't know.
That's smart. That's a good idea. They could easily do like a 20s type of deal with like a gangster story.
Well,
I know
that's
they've
actually
done more.
that's what the Grand Theft Auto games are. Is each game? It's actually really interesting to me. Each game is based on a different time period, focused on a different type of crime. So, Grand Theft Auto Vice City is one that I can think of. Is the 70s? No, it's the 80s, and it's drug smuggling or something, or organized mafia crime. And then San Andreas is organized street crime, and it's the 90s. Grand Theft Auto 4 is I think it's like human trafficking or something. But
It's a lot. And playing
he
through
was
it,
a human trafficker.
I would say he's kind of just like a I don't even know what to call him, like a freelance fucking do whatever, you know? He just kind of works for whoever pays him the most. Which is very interesting.
His is like it's like an immigrant story in what's supposed to be New York City.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s or something.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like around 2007 or 2008 kind of deal.
And then Grand Theft Auto 5 is in the modern time period, and it's LA, and it's focused on large-scale bank robberies. So each game has
heists.
Yeah, it's focused on heists. So each game has like this time period and this focus on crime, the specific type of crime.
That's interesting.
So it makes you wonder what 6 could be, because a lot of people are thinking, in their minds, they're thinking modern day, and it takes place in Chicago or something. And it's like, no, I know there's already the Mafia games, but it could be like a 1950s, 1960s. Like, personally, I would love to see a game kind of around that concept of what The Sopranos is, where The Sopranos is like the end of the Mafia. It's like the dying days of the Mafia in the 80s or 90s. A game like that would be fun for GTA.
I was just talking to Maddie about this, actually. We were like, maybe the next GTA, like, how cool would it be if they set it kind of like in the 90s? And then in that way, they don't have to kind of try and keep up with the technology of today, you know, and stuff like that. You can just have the phones be fucking flip phones, and it wouldn't make a difference, you know? It still functions the exact same. And then you can bring back the internet cafes, which are just classic. But
oh yeah,
that's so weird. Like, playing through GTA 4 and I have to go to an internet cafe to like fucking check my email. Like, what the hell? Really weird. But anyways, I feel like that's a good idea to kind of throw it back to a different time period.
I think it'd be fun. Or even like getting, I think I've heard someone pitch it before, but a GTA game in Hawaii based around, I think I've talked about this on the podcast. There's a lot of drug trafficking that comes from Asia into America that stops through Hawaii. And it's a combination of like Chinese triad and like I think Japanese Yakuza and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool.
That's sick. That's so cool. Do it. Come on. We're literally giving
Do we know if
ideas.
they're working on the new one or no?
I don't know.
They're very quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably bet that they are.
Yeah.
At this point, because it's been 7 years.
Been a long time.
The last one.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the same way of Skyrim, you know, right? Like, they kind of just like stopped doing stuff for a while after that game come out.
It did, yeah.
But I guess they worked on what?
Fallout.
Or no, Rockstar. They also did Red Dead, so.
Well, I'm surprised Red Dead. No, I guess I'm not surprised Red Dead 2 came out first. No, I kind of am. GTA is the bigger IP. You think they'd release GTA first, but they kind of prioritize Red Dead 2.
It's probably
and
a bigger
appreciate
game,
that.
so they
I
probably
think,
have to work more on it.
and I think that they separate the work between like two companies, or like
two different
brands.
teams.
Yeah,
Specialize in the different. Yeah.
yeah. So I think they have like a Red Dead team that was working on stuff while they were doing the GTA Online shit.
I wonder, what do you? I mean, the thing about open world games is that, like, I don't know. I think like when you increase the graphics, right? Like, it just seems to me of recently, like, graphics aren't really going anywhere because, like, if you try to do an open world game, you have to go down on the graphics, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how you're gonna make another game that's completely open world that doesn't look a little worse than like what other games at the time look like. Because like even
Yeah.
I was watching some what's it called gameplay like 20 minutes ago while we were talking.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk, and like it looks good, but like there's obviously parts where like you can tell
Oh,
like
yeah.
they had to like cut down on certain graphical stuff because the game's huge, right? Like you can't just have that much stuff in a game.
Exactly. I
That's
feel like Red Dead 2 was like the peak of what you can achieve like visually and graphically in a huge open world. Like I don't really think we're going to see a game that looks much better than that for a while.
I know that's why I want to see what if they're working on GTA 6, what it would look like, you know?
Yeah. Could they outdo themselves from Red Dead 2? Because
like how do you make a game that looks like, because there are mods for GTA 5 that make it look like God tier, you know, right? But
yeah.
like that's only for people who have like the top graphics cards and stuff to do it. So how do you make it for like the masses, I guess? I'm just like interested in like what it would look like and stuff.
Well, I've heard
I like
theories that like graphics can't improve past where they are now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like I've heard that like I don't know how true it is, but like only textures can get better from here, and like the models themselves or something can't like
Peak.
get past this point. Yeah, like
That's
eventually
probably
we'll
true, yeah.
eventually we'll plateau in terms of how realistic we can get and reach a limit. And it's like I wonder if are we here now? But then I'll look back at older games, like I replayed GTA 5, and it's like, ooh, this looks, ooh, yikes. Some of this is kind of weird.
I think GTA 5 looks great, but like parts of it nowadays kind of look scuffed.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, bro. Man.
Especially for 2013, I can't believe that again. Like I just can't believe that game came out in 2013.
Game on Xbox 360, bro.
Like, I know. How did the 360 survive with that thing?
I'm sure it had like severe downgrades.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and like what game am I thinking? The Last of Us 2, I feel like, is one of the best looking games I've seen, just because it's like, and it's not open world or anything, but it's just like, man, it's like just brutally realistic, that game.
Yeah.
I
don't play The Last of Us 1 because it
God.
It does not look good. We played it like when would we play that, Anthony? Like a couple months ago? Yeah, this summer we played, and maybe it was your TV or something, but like I don't know, dude. It did not look good at all.
It wasn't fun either.
Well, it came out on PS3, right? Didn't it? So
yeah, that game's like a generation old, 2 generations old at this point, I suppose.
But The Last of Us, I think, The Last of Us 2 looks good.
Mm-hmm.
There's just always something about the newer games though that like they just kind of, I don't know. I thought we'd be a little more closer to realism by now. I don't really know
think we
how to
can't
put
get there.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we'll ever have a video game that looks like Infinity War looks. How like you can see the pores on Thanos and stuff. That will never be a home console release.
You think so?
Until GTA 6.
I don't know. I feel like that's just beyond us. Beyond like
I don't think
average consumers, because eventually we'll reach a point
I feel
where
like graphics cards are not really improving as fast as I think people would anticipate.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like,
and consoles are getting better, yeah, but they're also getting more expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, games could probably reach the point where everyone looks like Thanos from Infinity War, but I don't want
That's
to
what
pay
I
for
want.
that console to play
You'd have
that
to
game.
run it like on a NASA computer.
Right, yeah.
something.
That's not going to ever become like casual gamer
But then again,
hardware.
People didn't think that for like home computers, and look what happened.
That's true.
Remember how big computers used to be? They used to be giant, and now they're like puny.
Yeah, look at Mario 64 and look at
Look at the Switch. Just look at the Switch, for instance.
yeah.
It's like such a small thing that has.
I love the
obviously,
Switch.
the Switch has kind of like a reputation for not having the best graphical stuff,
hmm
but like still, Switch it's a minuscule thing. It's very powerful to be able to run the stuff for its size.
I mean, it can run Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Yep.
Like
those
That's all-
intensive games.
well, it's I mean, like in the same way that Zelda came out or Link to the Past came out on the SNES back in like 93 or something. And then they ported it to the Game Boy in like 2004 and it could run it just fine. It's like, Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine and Galaxy, all those games used to like be top notch on their consoles and now the Switch can handle them.
Right.
All of them.
Makes sense. Damn. Yeah. Maybe we hit our peak.
Graphics are interesting to talk about. Interesting.
Yeah.
If I have like kids who play video games, like am I gonna go downstairs and find my daughter playing a game and be like, oh wow, like that looks like this puts my games from my childhood to shame.
Right.
Like is that gonna happen?
What, Pokemon?
Yeah, like a Pokemon gonna look like hyper realistic or something? Like will humans look more realistic than they look now? Significantly more, I mean.
Yeah.
I wonder what do you guys think about the other aspect, not the graphical thing, but like gameplay?
Oh, will gameplay change?
Yeah, do you think like gameplay is like pretty much figured out at this point?
I
Like
think
there's not
really
that many new ideas, floating around.
We'll get new changes. Like I think the battle royale movement as of late has been a huge shift in it's like a trend. So we'll always see new stuff like that, but platformer, shooter, stuff like that, they're always gonna be constants. I don't know if
You don't think there's gonna be like a new platform or new shooter thing, like just something nobody's ever done before?
I think if that does happen, it'll be because of VR, but I think VR is years away from being functional.
VR.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna be honest, I don't really like VR, even if it became like a normal thing.
I hate it.
I don't want to be that immersed in a game.
It's
It feels kind of weird.
sickening.
Like, yeah, it is sickening.
Like having it on your face that close to your eyes is
Yeah, just wait till we get our Sword Art Online things.
Can't wait to die in the game and then
can't
die
wait
in
when we
real
die
life.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play a video game where I'm hooked up to a taser, and every time I take damage in Skyrim from a Draugr, I get shocked.
I watched what's it called? The other day, Inception.
Oh, did you? Is it good?
Yeah, Inception's a great movie, but like that's the same thing that happens. Is like when they take damage in a dream, they take it in like real life in the sense because they don't really they don't take the damage, but they feel it like in real life. If that makes sense.
They get shocked
Because like the pain is all in your mind, I guess, is what they say. So even if you're in a dream, if you get hit, you think that you're actually hurt or something. I don't know.
You still take bludgeoning damage?
Yeah.
I one time had a dream where I got my head chopped off by the queen of Alice in Wonderland, the one who like chops off people's heads.
Yeah.
I had a dream that she chopped my head off. And I remember waking up and I was like, like my neck. Because like I felt the pain like when I woke up. So Inception is an accurate movie.
Maybe it's things like I had a dream once where I was drowning and I couldn't breathe. And then I woke up and I was actually not able to breathe because I was sleeping on a futon. There's like a couch and then it folded out into a bed, but there were no legs that supported the part that folded down. So it was off balance. And I'd rolled over in my sleep to the unbalanced side and my head was kind of over the mattress at that point. It tipped and pinned my neck up against the wall, and my head was upside down. And so in my dream, I was like, I'm drowning, I can't breathe. And then in real life, I was suffocating and could not breathe.
Holy shit.
So maybe your neck hurt, and then in your dream, you're like, oh, I'm getting beheaded. That's what this is. That's my interpretation of this pain.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Interesting. Good on Chris Nolan. Got that one right.
Who would have thought Inception would be the subject to get us off of games? This was the gaming podcast.
This was the gaming podcast. That could be the episode title.
In fact,
The
this was
gaming
like
podcast.
that was like an hour and 25 minutes of gaming content.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
4:25 over there.
All right. Well,
Way to go, gamers. Thanks for listening to the number one gaming podcast by gamers for gamers. We really lived up to that name this time.
True.
thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you made it this far.
Yeah, this is our least viewed video probably. I can't imagine many of you are gamers.
No, give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, give me a call. I'll see you soon.